It's time for a battle of the smartphones now. Google unveiled its newest models of the Google Pixel last week, and it didn't take long for people to start comparing it to Apple's iPhone 11 series. Our tech editor Dan Halley is back here to break down the differences in the newest smartphone releases. Dan, am I dumping my iPhone?
You're probably not dumping your iPhone, and that's just because they lock you into their ecosystems, respectively Google and Apple, to make sure that you don't end up ditching them. But I gotta say, this is the Google Pixel 4. There's also this is the Pixel 4 XL. There's also a smaller version that has a 5.7-inch display. This has a 6.3-inch display. And between this and other Android phones, I have to say that Google really is the standout. It doesn't have very much as far as bloatware goes. That's the software that you really don't want installed on your phone. It's all very basic Android, exactly the way Google thinks a smartphone should be. And to be quite honest, they're correct. They do an excellent job with the software. But the big thing about these phones, the Pixel 4 and Pixel 4 XL, are their new cameras. They have two on the back now. There's a telephoto and a standard wide-angle lens, and that's something that smartphone makers have been doing across the board, adding more cameras to add more value to the devices so that people will want to go out and purchase them. You can see here the differences between the Pixel 4 and the iPhone. Now, one of the interesting features of the Pixel 4 is that you can change the exposure of shadows and brightness all in one single shot while you're putting it together live, so you don't have to do any After Effects editing. You can just do it all at once before you actually take the shot. With Apple, you can only change the white balance on it, so it doesn't really look as good. You can see kind of the washed out look of the white balance that I changed on the iPhone versus the kind of fluorescent look of the Pixel 4 that I ended up being able to manipulate. But besides that, they also take excellent low light photos. The Pixel 4 really is a standout there as well. Apple added a low light feature to the iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max. But the Pixel is still ahead of the iPhone in terms of the quality of low light shots, and that's just because they're able to do more software tricks behind the scenes. They basically mash a bunch of images together and do a kind of stationary freeze frame almost when you're taking the photo to make sure that it captures enough light. And there's so much light that it can capture, in fact, that you can do what's called astrophotography with the Pixel 4. So if you really want to take a picture of someone with a whole bunch of stars in the background, you can do it with this bad boy.
Oof, all right, sounds exciting. Tell us about the price, though, real quick, because there's a big difference, isn't there?
Yeah, so this isn't going to be as expensive as, say, the iPhone 11 Pro Max. It starts at $749, and that's going to be a little bit more than the $699 for the iPhone 11. This is really going to compete along those lines. It's much cheaper than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. That's going to start at around $1,100 to $1,200, depending on the model that you get. So the Pixel is lower cost than most starting smartphones, but it is still a little bit too expensive for some people.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.